Now that we have seen how we can calculate the value of streams of constant cash flows, both for a limited amount of time and also for an unlimited amount of time, let's see how we can do the same thing but with growing cash flows, because most financial assets have no constant cash flows, they are growing. And if we have a constant growth rate, so let's see what happens to these formulas if we have a constant growth rate. So the cash flows are no longer constant, they will be different every single year, but we know that the growth rate between one year and the other will be constant. And to do this, we use similar formulas. So for the annuity with growth, we use something that is similar, but now we have here also G, which is a growth rate. And then this will also change the formula here. We add here growth, and then we raise this to the power of n. So we are looking at the similar formula, we just add growth rate here, and in the perpetuity we have also a small change, which is subtracting the growth rate on the denominator. So now we are also including here the possibility of having growth on the cash flows. So these are the four formulas we can use for streams of cash flows. So if we want to know the present value of these streams of cash flows, we just use one of these formulas depending on the scenario we have. Now, as in any other formula, we have to take into account some rules. This helps us doing these calculations, but we have to take into account that first, this discount rate here that we are using and the growth rate, these two rates have to be consistent with the frequency of the cash flow. So if we have an annual cash flow, we use the annual discount rate. If we have a monthly cash flow, we use the monthly interest rate, and so on. So we have to make consistent the frequency of the cash flow with the type of interest rate. Regarding the cash flow that we use here, when there is no growth, the cash flow is always the same. So in the formula, we use the constant cash flow, it's always the same. Here, in this, when there is growth, the cash flows are different every single year. So we have to pick one. And the one we use in these formulas is the first cash flow. So cash flows are different every single year. We use the first one in the stream of cash flows in order to use these formulas. Finally, the third rule is that these formulas get us the present value if the first cash flow is paid in 1 year. So if it is paid in 1 year, we apply the formula and immediately we get the present value today. If for some reason these streams of cash flow start on year 10, when we apply the formula, we get the value on year 9. So the rule is these formulas give us the present value from the perspective of the year right before the first payment. So we have to make some adjustments if the stream of cash will start in a period other than the first one.